How about this venue, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Todd Grisham, and we are live here at the one-of-a-kind Empire Fight Camp. Along Saul Canelo Alvarez, the Mexican legend, the middleweight, the super middleweight, the light heavyweight who fights out of Guadalajara, Mexico. Terrence Bud Crawford, one of the pound-for-pound best in the world, fighting out of Nebraska, USA, one of the greatest of all time.
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. Fighting out of the red corner, from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, here is Mexico's first ever undisputed world champion and renowned star of boxing.
How will these two fighters handle? These athletes have promised us a war. Let's see if they deliver. Good punch. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. He threw a punch and just got countered. Straight right just misses. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. Nice counter shot. Catch and shoot. The sun is blazing this afternoon, and these two athletes are going to have to find a way to deal with it.
In such heat, the cornermen need to be able to do their job. Think about what they're doing. One to cool you down, one to ice you back, one to give you instruction in your head, and one to just calm you to tell you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. Because that's the most important thing. Forget about the heat. Forget about everything else.
We're at the halfway point, and both of these fighters know the round is still up for grabs.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
Beautiful counter punch. A perfect counter shot. Caution is being thrown to the wind. Beautiful counter shot. That jab misses. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Alvarez in that last round. That belt. Here we go, round 2. Who's going to land the first big shot? Safe to say that last round was a nightmare. Let's see if we can turn it around here.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on him. That's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Nice counter shot. Sometimes when you're fighting a counter fighter, the rounds can get a little boring. You get trigger shy because you know if you throw a punch, one is coming right back at you.
Counter punch is my favorite kind of fighter. A good counter puncher, they're the people that make the history of our sport.
No rest for the weary. Big hook doesn't land. Halfway through the round, and man, these two are going at it.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Nice counter punch right up the middle. Right uppercut just off target. Counter punch caught him clean. Those counter punches have to hurt. That jab doesn't score. How about that time counter shot? Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. From this moment forward, he cannot. Here we go in round 3. Who's going to land the first big shot? So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Good counter punching. Well done with that counter shot. Jab does not score. So much for boxing. This is a fist fight. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Both fighters landing in these exchanges. Judge is gonna have a tough job.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
They are giving us a high-tempo show. And just as quickly as the action slows down, it heats back up. That one lands. They exchange punches. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. And a round that seemed like an eternity. Back at it in round 4. After that last round, something has got to change.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
Now you've got two fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
Caught him. What a punch. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. There's been a significant aggression difference in this fight, Johnny. What are you seeing?
I've seen some aggressive fighters. They can terrorize the life out of you before they've even thrown a shot. The strength they have, the speed they have, and that knockout punch, they want to punch through you. They don't want to punch you. They want to punch straight through you. So you've got to be careful.
Jab misses. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Talk about Alvarez in that last round.
What do you do?
Back into the fray here in round 5. Coming off a very tough round. Let's see what they do here.
Now he knows he's been hurt. He's going to come out and put the pressure on. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You've got to be ready for that. Don't fight fire with fire. Hold him off. Be smart because he's going to try and put you under pressure. He knows your legs are gone. He knows your head's not cleared. Be sharp.
can see the heavy breathing, but that's not slowing him down. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. That counter shot lands. When you're a power puncher, you're not as concerned with how many punches you throw. It's about how many you land and how hard they are.
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
Pretty close fight here in this round.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
No rest for the weary. You can tell he's stronger, but he's not faster. Both men step back for just a moment. Nice counter. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. Well, there was no... Here we go in the 6th round. Coming off that great round, let's see if they can build on momentum here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
There's a counter shot. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. This fighter is not interested in throwing one shot at a time. They throw combinations, and they throw them non-stop.
This can be so frustrating when you're under such a fast fighter that can throw 3-4 shot combinations before you've even let one off. That creates frustration, and that's when it gets hard.
Is he going to punch himself out, though? Perfect counter lands. Punch, counter punch. And he scores with the counter. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Which fighter will say no mas? Good counter punch. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Nice counter punch. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. Pretty dominant round there. Let's see. Here we go. It's round 7. Well, there's no doubt about who won that last round. Let's see what he has for us here in the next one.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Counter shot lands. As we enter the final frames of this bout, Johnny, what have we seen so far?
It's the one who draws first blood, Todd. That's what you've got to look at. If you're there and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it, but you've got to be confident.
Swing and a miss with that hook. Only catching air with that hook. Halfway through the round, and I don't know who's got the advantage. Great stuff.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
They're both trying for a knockout. Crawford is dazed. How is this fight still continuing?
Now they've got to wake up. They've got to get on the back foot, clear the head a little bit, then jump back into it again. It's all about the hustle. Get back on it.
A good body shot will paralyze you, and as you can see here, that's exactly what happened.
That's lights out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You all right?
Talk about Alvarez in that last round. They say no one knows a fighter better than their trainer, and this trainer is certainly considered.
Let him back in.
And we enter the 8th round. Last round was a disaster. What can they do here to turn this around?
2 knockdowns and you're coming back from that. That's near on impossible because your head must be all over the place. Your legs are feeling like jelly. What can they tell you in the corner? All they can do is wake you up. They can't even go into game plan.
Those counter punches have to hurt. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. We've seen in the past from this fighter, they don't get concerned when they lose some of the earlier rounds because they know they've got that power that can strike at any moment.
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain then.
Looking to land the hook. That hook just can't find the target. There's a counter shot. Those counter punches have to hurt. How about that time counter shot? There's a big difference between being the aggressor and the effective aggressor. Which type are we seeing so far?
This is about egos. Get your ego in check, Todd, because if you fight a man that is used to doing this, he's confident and comfortable doing this, why are you giving him that chance to dance that dance? Step out of the way, box him, frustrate him, because if you let him get away with it, he close you down.
Nice counter shot. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. It's go back to the drawing board time, a unanimous decision victory.
They've done it before, now they're doing it again, and look what's happened. A unanimous decision. What a way, what tactics, what a game plan. What a result.